Music so loud, hands waving in the air. All I heard him say is, "Where the real kings at? Where the real kings at?" I was at the house party. Music so loud, hands waving in the air. All I heard him say is, "Where the real kings at? Where the real queens at? Where the real kings, queens?" All we heard was the sirens. All I heard was my irregular heartbeat. And every time I hear my irregular heartbeat, I think to myself, when the last time I hugged a grown man like a newborn child? Probably the same time he got new bracelets. You know, handcuffs that fit tight around his wrist, as tight around his wrist as that robbery he performed yesterday. Probably as tight around his wrist as that unprotected sex he had that night to celebrate. But tell me, when do we ever feel safe? Because there's no vault for our emotions, so we be feeling like, no one be feeling like, man, no one be feeling like us. So we always feel alone, but never alone. And all we want to do is feel like the hero. But that's the irony right there. Because most people are birthed with a superpower. You know, alien to this world, flying high, because he's above it all, to avoid a space, looking down at the world, listening to all the world problems, thinking all the world problems is his, and his problems is the world. Well, that's a worldview of most people that rather hide their smiles and a frown. And the same places where they greet haters with middle fingers, and the same places where they have their arms as open as 7-Elevens to embrace who you are, and the same places where they give their hearts out like organ donors, just to show how much they love you. And I know he's thinking about this in the back of a cop car, thinking about how yesterday he was going to cop a car just to show people how driven he is, how he's looking at every one of these street corners, feeling like it's the inner road. Every single street corner looked like the inner road. We became boys to men from the inner road. Why all these street corners look like the inner road? Cop turned back to say, "Shut up, boy. This is the end of the road." And all I can hear is my irregular heartbeat. And every time I hear my irregular heartbeat, I think to myself, when the last time I hugged a grown man like a newborn child? 10 seconds before he got in that cop car, I rushed over to him and hugged him from behind as he was handcuffed, and they pushed his head in the back seat of that car. They pushed me off, and I told him, "I love you. I really mean it. I love you, man." Thank you.